Welcome to CV Formatting, Section by Section, by the MSUM Career Development Center. This video will cover sections that often appear on CVs but aren't as common on resumes. These include research interests, research experience, teaching experience, publications, presentations, professional associations, and awards. To learn more about sections that appear on both CVs and resumes, such as education or experience, check out our Anatomy of a Resume videos. Let's start with research interests. When should this section be included? You may want to include research interests if you are applying to a graduate program with a focus on research, and if your research interests align well with the research done at that program or by its faculty. If you're applying to an applied graduate program that focuses more on doing a specific career instead of researching, you likely won't need this section. So how should you include research interests on a CV? These can be included as a simple list. Unlike other bullet points on your CV, bullet points in the research interests section don't need to start with a verb. Instead, each bullet point can start with the imaginary phrase, I am interested in researching, or I am interested in researching the... What about research experience? You could call this section research experience, research projects, or just research. Include research you conducted outside of the classroom if you have it, but you can also include significant research projects from in your classes. Write the name of the research project and bold it to make it easy to find. Use the citation style commonly used in your industry when deciding whether to capitalize your titles. Include where you did the research for, whether it was a class or another kind of research project. Also include the organization and faculty advisor if applicable. Lastly, write some bullet points about what you studied, what research or lab techniques you used, or what skills you developed. Have each sentence begin with a verb. In a teaching experience section, you might include experience as a learning assistant, first-year mentor, tutor, or even swim instructor. Write about lectures you delivered, discussions you facilitated, labs you hosted, office hours you held, or grading you completed. Here's an example of how this might look on a CV. Include your job title, the organization, city, state, and dates. Quantify your bullet points by adding details like how many labs or review sessions you hosted, how many students were involved, or how often your office hours were. If you have given presentations at Student Academic Conference or other conferences, consider adding a presentation section. Format your entry according to the citation style most commonly used for your industry, such as MLA, Chicago, or something else. This example was written in APA. Bold your name on the list. Format publications the same way, following the citation style for your industry. If you have attended conferences that you weren't presenting at, you could add a conferences section. Write the conference name, city, state, month, and year attended. Add a bullet point or two about what you learned about at the conference. Consider starting your bullet point with one of these phrases: learned about, studied, expanded knowledge of, or developed understanding of. Another section you could include is professional associations or professional memberships. If you were a member and were not particularly involved with the organization, you could simply list them as they're listed here, or include them within your education section. If you held a leadership role in the association, consider including them in an involvement section instead, where you could list your role and add some bullet points underneath about what you did with the organization. There are a few ways you could list awards on your CV, depending on how much detail you want to include. If it was a single scholarship or award, you could include it as a bullet point in your education section. Or if you received multiple scholarships or awards for similar things, you could combine them together into one bullet point in the education section. If you want to include more details about your awards or scholarships, you could create a separate section and list them individually. Thanks for joining us as we talk through each of these sections of a CV. Be sure to check out our other videos.